to Joyce Chow of MBN News Video Web. We have something exciting that we're going to be interviewing the young lady today about. She's going to talk to us a little bit about 3D, especially what she's planning to do in the latter part of the month of February, which is called
3D 3 Days.
Which I can totally mispronounce all the time. But you tell us a little bit about 3D 3 Days.
Oh, see, they're putting me on the spot. No.
Well, she's, as they say, she's the bean counter.
The bean counter. 3D 3 Days is an event centered around the Academy Awards, but it's an educational 3D event. You're going, what? Why would you a 3D educational event?
Because here's the question: what has the consumer electronics industry done wrong with the rollout on everything that they have rolled out in about the last decade? Lack of education.
Oh, actually, that's a good point about it, because part of it is you've been hearing about 3D, and you're seeing it in the stores, and you're wondering, it's like, is it time to invest in 3D? Why would I want to do it? Well, part of it is the U.S., as far as 3D is concerned, is being left behind by the Chinese.
Massively behind the Chinese. You know that, as I understand, there were only, until this year, there were only 5,000 3D theaters worldwide, and the majority of them were not in this country. And who's turning out the majority of the 3D product?
China?
No.
Oh, you mean us?
Us, we turn out, until...
Actually, that's true.
We turn out the majority of the 3D films, and we have the least amount of 3D theaters.
Oh, you mean the U.S.?
In the U.S., yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that is kind of an interesting point, because part of it is when you see these huge movies like blockbuster movies like Avatar and Toy Story 3. Well, actually, Avatar, most of the revenues from what we have seen have actually come from 2D theaters, not 3D theaters.
There's not enough 3D theaters in the United States to play. There are two movies, what was it? There are 30 last year. And there's not enough theaters to play the over two a month that are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, you know...
Therefore, to make the money like Avatar did, you have to have it also in 2D and 3D. And also, you know, as you know, I mean, you've seen it in both releases. We've spoken with multiple people that said, oh yeah, I saw it in the various versions that it was shown in, whether it was 3D or 2D or different cuts.
At before last year's Academy Awards Summer, we talked to a man. We actually were sitting in a Taco Bell eating lunch, and he sat down and he's grumping about the movie. He said, "Is it a cartoon, or is it a video game, or what the hell is it?" He said, "I've seen it in 5 different forms." We talked to one of the head photographers for the Rose Parade. I've seen it in every form that they've got it in, and it makes me sick.
Well, I think sometimes it's a little bit confusing for the consumer, because it's like, well, which one do I need, and doesn't that TV work with these glasses? And there's just confusion as, you know, it's like, well, if I want to do it, what do I need to do to set it up? For example, you know, like if you're in the theater, you know, you just sit down and get the glasses, right? So then you can watch it. But it's an entirely different thing if you're going to set it up in your home. And even though you can listen to the people at the stores, a lot of people would just like to know more for themselves. So the part about 3D 3 Days is that it's not, let's just say it's a live event with video where you have companies talking about 3D, but you're going to have people from the entertainment community, yes, because this is centered around the Academy Awards. So,
and we're going to have a lot of people in there getting educated about 3D.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people that the people that have done 3D are going to be able, actors are going to be able to tell us about what it's like in 3D, I understand. And that the people that are going to work in 3D are going to talk what their apprehensions are. And there are a lot of apprehensions, because a lot of, basically, Charlotte Ross was talking about it shows everything. Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't hide anything.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like people are thinking about HD showing everything. Yeah, the extra dimension shows. So, you know, like stand up straight.
There's stretch. Yeah. And like I said, what is it? I've got that they say that 3D last year was a major disappointment, because they were expecting to sell 4 million sets. They sold 1 million set, and they said part of the problem, which is what this 3D thing is about, is lack of education. Mm-hmm. People did not know that you basically can't set on top of your TV set like you do The 3D set cannot, you've got to be like 3 meters back.
At least.
And there was a difference between passive and active. And I'll guarantee you, active shutter television sets are nothing more than a device put on your television set to jumble your picture so that you have to wear a set of glasses to unjumble the picture. All we got to do, I'll show people exactly what this sort of looks like. I had a cameraman here. That is like what you're getting. What happens, they have a device in the computer and the television set that does this. And then the glasses do this. And they're charging you 120...
Like image stabilization.
Image stabilization. That's what the active glasses do. And we've also talked to people in the business that the people that designed the active shutter sets did not have children. Because it's the same thing. If they had children, they would simply understand, the simple, toss me the remote control, Harvey, and then when it hits the wall, Mom, Harvey broke the remote control. That's $10. Well, what's it cost for a set of 3D glasses, active shutter?
Active shutter glasses are like anywhere from usually $150 to $250 in a 2-pack.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you can't afford, if you've got a family of 4, you have to buy 2 sets, and children are going to bust them. How many times have we been to all the places that sell the 3D sets, and the glasses are all broken in every place?
Actually, most of them are all broken.
Even in cases, they're broken.
Yeah, that's part of the display.
And this is part of the thing where as I understand, there's going to be a lot of education about that passive. Passive is the same. 80% of all films turned out are in passive. And here I'm going to break the news once again to everybody. The old guy that's standing over behind the camera, every television set can show 3D.
Well, part of it is it's a broadcast signal.
Yeah, it's broadcast signal.
So showing the display, because we work with 3D on a regular basis, and we do upload it to the internet. It goes up, and people watch it.
They watch it. How can you watch it on a computer that does not have a 3D screen? Because it's a signal. And a signal can be broken down in many ways. There are we can talk about the fact there's like 14 different ways that you can process 3D. Side by side, up and down, active, polarized, non-interlaced. The standard, which everything starts out, which is stereographic, which is what we broadcast in. Stereographic is the simple part, but you can tell us more about how this all event's going to unwind for people, though, because we think it's going to be something exciting for 2 days of education and a 3rd day of celebrating the Academy Awards.
Yeah, actually, we're really looking forward to this because the 3rd day is the Oscar viewing party.
Yeah.
So part of it is you've seen the Oscars before and you've heard they've had viewing parties. We're doing a viewing party in 3D.
In 3D. They may not broadcast it in 3D, but we're going to have it on in 3D for everyone at the party. We're going to create the first 3D broadcast ever of the Academy Awards to a select group of 150 to 400 people.
That many, huh?
Yeah. Well, actually, it depends upon...
Depends, yes.
No, we're looking at a private residence in the area to hold the event at right now. With the 150-foot ball, 150 people ballroom, backyard swimming pool, all that stuff. Old is going to be old Hollywood from the 1930s, when the Academy Awards was basically springing into being, held in a nightclub setting type thing.
Yeah, so part of it is we are really looking forward to this because you actually get to see the Oscars in 3D and actually have a good time visiting and finding out about 3D too. And
it will be a worldwide event. It's going to be televised live to the world. Each day will be live to the world. You're going to get to see a viewing party done to the world.
Actually, yeah, they get to see the viewing day by day as things continue to go on.
Yeah, and you're going to get you get to see the educational process of people in the industry. You're going to be educated. It is a 3-day educational event. 3rd day, we're going to educate this country. We're going to educate the people in the industry about what you can do with 3D, because what is our philosophy on 3D?
if you don't show everything in 3D, you show nothing in 3D.
Right.
You're going, what? Well, because part of it is if you only do a little bit, well,
Then no one takes it seriously.
yeah.
So it's going to be serious. You're going to have those, those glasses to watch on your computer, which we hope to have many millions available.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, it's all being put together. Basically, it's a go, whether it can be afforded or not, it's go. It's a go. It's going to be the biggest event ever held around the Academy Awards, and it is a no press event.
Mm-hmm.
It is no press is going to be allowed because the people that are coming in are going to have the opportunity to speak about, when they're basically being taught about the cameras, they're being taught about the computers, when they're being taught about the TV sets, when they're being taught about, what it means is they're going to be given equipment for the privilege of learning about the equipment. Mm-hmm. And they don't have to speak.
Yep.
If they want to speak and to ask questions,
they can speak.
They can speak. And if they don't want to speak and they just want to be in awe works just as well because they take knowledge out of the building and they spread that knowledge across the industry. And this is as much as an industry enlightenment as it is because everything the consumer electronic industry has done for the last decade has been ass backwards. They put the cart before the horse. They don't educate before they do. Mm-hmm. And then they take the stuff out. Why can't we sell? Well, because people don't. You don't have any. What do the producers say about supplying product for 3D?
What did they say?
Give us the sets.
Oh, that's right. It's like what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
The consumer sitting there looking at the TV set going, well, why do I need to buy a 3D TV set when there's hardly any programming?
Yeah.
Right? I could just go to the movie theater and watch the movie.
Yeah, or rent it. And they don't know that unless it's Blu-ray, they can basically rent the thing and take it home and watch it. What do you think the big push is a Blu-ray standard for 3D is so that you can't watch a 3D thing on anything with a Blu-ray?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But since Blu-ray is not prevalent, and my guess is never will be.
One of the things I noticed about Blu-ray is I always thought was like hyper real. And when you look at the picture with Blu-ray, it's almost, depending on the TV set, it's almost 3D because you can see kind of a dimension. So 3D just accentuates it.
Yeah, it just makes it. It really brings out the great quality, but you have to match up all the components. Mm-hmm. If that guy over at the appliance store tells you need Sony cables to go with the Sony screen and the Sony Blu-ray, he's not trying to hit you up for extra money. It gives you a better quality.
It does, and I know a lot of people think they're just trying to sell me more.
No, it does. You match.
Better.
If you have a Pioneer TV and a Pioneer sound system and a Pioneer Blu-ray and a Pioneer TV, you need Pioneer cables because we have been to these events where there was a Pioneer this, a Sony that, an Hitachi this, and a Panasonic that, and there is a difference in the quality. It doesn't look the same, and they have to apologize that the quality isn't like it should be. We've been hearing that for 4 years in Blu-ray, and it's a simple. It is like a Geek Squad thing. Geek Squad, basically, you really cannot set up your modern day HD sets by yourself. It just isn't feasible. First of all, if you hook it into the wall wrong, it falls down and kills somebody. But this is all going to be discussed. We're going to talk about matching. We're going to have the experts sitting there explaining to everybody in the audience, which is nobody is bothered to sit down and do, why you need to match up components. Mm-hmm. We're also going to explain, we'll probably have some people in there with general glasses that cover all of the devices, explaining why their glasses are better than the $10 passive glasses. Mm-hmm. There is a reason why.
Yep.
But they need to explain it, and they're not explaining anything, so that's
well, actually, I think this will be great because a lot of people will, all in one location, they'll learn about it and discover, and, well, actually, it'll help you understand it, so you won't be as confused as to, if you want to do it, what do you need to do?
Yep.
Whether you're the consumer that would love to do, you think, oh, that's fun, why don't we do 3D with the kids, right? Or if you just like it for entertainment and you want to watch it, how do you set it up?
Well, it is a setup process, and people, 99 and 9/10% of the people will misset up their equipment.
Well, and then the other part is for the entertainment community is advantages, disadvantages, different ways to work it, because a lot of them are either involved in front or in back of the camera.
Yeah.
And 3D is still, you know, a learning process for
And
many people.
we found out something at CES, which we'll let people know right now. We were talking to a company that basically can turn any video camera into a 3D camera with the full zoom capability. He said 20-to-1 zoom. If your camera did it before, we can it's just reprogramming. Single lens instead of double lens, it's reprogramming. And they're already doing it. Some of the bigger companies are only single lensing it, and they are programming. You can do 2D and 3D at the same time. So it's a programming thing. People need to know that. If they know that it's not as complicated as they think it is, that makes it different.
Well, you know, part of it is I think it makes it easier for adoption, because sometimes confusion is thrown in there, so people, you know, will actually have to, if you're confused and you just listen to what they say. Well, sometimes if you're confused, you just do that. Jordan, for example, at the Consumer Electronics Show, you're watching, or we were watching everything, as well as the other people, under optimum conditions.
Which is low lit. You cannot, the people that design the television sets know that the best display